Alright, here we are for our first match. We've won the die roll. We will play first. And this is a fine hand. It's not the best. We have... actually, it's pretty great. We do have a mana confluence, which, you know... I actually want to try mess around with the deck a little bit. I mentioned this in my last video, but I'm just really trying once again the version, you know, with the mana base and everything as was played in the Grand Prix as I played before. I do think it's reasonable that you may be able to get away from mana confluence, especially if you cut some number of Llanowar Elves, but we're going to keep this. But yeah, mana confluence can be pretty rough sometimes. Alright, well, we're going to play Forest and say go. Here is certainly a place that I would love to have an Elvish Mystic. Oh, and our opponent has a basic mountain, which certainly makes this mana confluence scary. We're going to play Rattleclaw and hope it doesn't die. Please don't die, Rattleclaw. Please don't die. Oh god, Searing Blood. It's like we're dead already. Well, this is painful. Searing Blood is brutal. Chain to the Rocks. All right. We are not off to the best start. If that guy gets Searing Blooded, I may throw up. Thankfully, it was just Lightning Strike. This looks like it might be the a Hushwing Griff. All right. Oh, another mana confluence. The perfect draw. All right. Well, we're gonna play Knuckleblade. Yeah. Oof. Take two. We are not in the best of shapes against a deck that has Searing Blood in it. I'm gonna say go. Plan on lightning striking this. Oh god, another Griff. I'm gonna kill one of them, I suppose. We don't really have great options here, you know, just kind of taking a beat down from this Griff and our mana confluences. If one of these weren't a pain land, to be maybe reasonable, but we can't really even cast spells. Alright, well, we're going to cast a face-up Phoenix and just say go. So yeah, this is definitely a matchup where I want those red removal spells in my sideboard. Killing the you know, the consistent damage sources is very valuable. Put a card at the bottom. That's a good sign. That's a good sign. Magma Jet. All right. Well, that's not a good sign. This is going to be a hard game to win. Bottom and bottom, at least. Okay. All right. Taking more. Well, I'm never going to be able to cast another spell. We gotta stop that Griff somehow. I gotta get my 2 damage in with this guy. And we are now dead to anything. Literally any spell, pretty much. How much damage did we do to ourselves this game? It was a lot. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We did like 8 to ourselves. And we're dead. Alright, so sideboard wise against, I mean, this is a weird sort of deck, because it's like, what, you know, how much of his deck is actually like burn and like cheap creatures, because it looks like it's more like red white pseudo control, like more you know, Griff plus Seeker of the Way are not really necessarily cards that you know, stuff like you really want to bring in stuff like Magma Spray against. I'm going to bring in my other Lightning Strike. And I'm going to bring in Stubborn Denials because he has tons of spells. I'm going to take out one Crater's Claw. I think maybe Temur Charm. Given that I'm bringing in Stubborn Denial, Temur Charm is less valuable and less important. And maybe a Boon Satyr. Taking out a Boon Satyr when I'm bring in Stubborn Denial is a little sketchy, because it, you know, reduces the chances that I'll have a cheap 4-cost guy who I can actually get Ferocity off of, but I think it's pretty valuable. Sarkhan, and like the big creatures. I definitely like the Phoenixes, especially if he has, you know, the sort of big fly, or the flyers that I want to get in the way of. Maybe actually Stormbreath Dragon is better than Phoenix here because he has white removal and such. So let's actually try that. He has a bunch of red removal, so Stormbreath Dragon may be better than Phoenix. You know, be able to not necessarily get hit by his magma jets and such. Let's give this a shot. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and play first. We're going to have to mulligan this. This hand can't actually cast a spell. And this hand's okay. We'll keep. It's a little awkward, but it'll do. It does get to cast turn 3 Knuckleblade, which is nice. Although, interestingly, we may not want to cast turn 3 Knuckleblade. We may want to play Bivouac and hold up Lightning Strike, for instance, and wait until we can play this with Stubborn Denial. We end up, you know, we have to draw what, either a red or blue source. I think I just want to cast it. I'm just going to cast it. I can't really just sit here and hold up. If I had another mana, I would just hold it and wait to, you know, potentially Lightning Strikes on the end of his turn and cast this with Stubborn Denial. Now we're getting Magma Jetted. But here, because, you know, we can't just try and play Drago. Like, we don't have the tools in our hand right now to really, we put top. That's not happy for us. Ooh, he's just saying go, though? Oh, God, he's dead. What's going on? We have Knuckleblade and Stubborn Denial and a bunch of removal / damage in our hand. And he went top and just said go. Alright, your turn. He can also just bounce this if he tries to play, like, you know, a removal spell on it too. Ooh dear, another Stubborn Denial. So if I want, I could just hit him for 6. But I think I'm just going to hold up more denials. Well, if I hit him for 6, it puts him to 10, and then he's dead to just double Lightning Strike next turn. Alright. I guess you could, like, Deflecting Palm me. But I can Stubborn Denial that. Denial is so good. This card is so powerful. Yep, we'll take it. We're getting burned. Stoke. Alright, we will Stubborn Denial that. And he is now dead. I guess you could chain the rocks the guy, but... Alright, I'm just going to Crater's Claw him with X equals 4. How do you do the thing where you tap your mana and like just gives you colorless for it? Boom. Alright, so that went better than the previous game. Our opponent is definitely, on a, fairly burn-heavy plan. I wonder if taking out Boon Satyr, like he still has Magma Jet in his deck. I wonder if I just want to take out a Boon Satyr and play like another Ash Cloud Phoenix. Didn't really see creatures to Arc Lightning, but I'm sure they're there. I don't know if I really want to increase my curve like this, though. I mean, Phoenix is definitely better against, like, Magma Jet. Boon Satyr is pretty bad against Magma Jet. He has tons of other things to Magma Jet, though. I'm just going to keep Boon Satyr in my deck. I don't want to increase my curve when I'm on the draw. Alright, and we are going to Mulligan here. We only have the one land, and against a deck that has significant amount of burn for our mana creatures, we really can't, even if we do draw a land, which we not necessarily guaranteed of, we would really need a mana creature to survive. Alright, this hand is fine. Alright, that's a pretty good draw. I'm gonna play we'll play Wooded Foothills. So if we draw a forest, I'd rather or whatnot. I'd rather just be able to. All right, so we didn't draw that. So I'm gonna go ahead and sack this for red. And I kind of just want to play Heir of the Wilds rather than Rattleclaw because I want Rattleclaw to survive, and I imagine the first creature I play won't. So I'm actually just going to play Heir of the Wilds. Well, he didn't actually kill it. Alright. Well, that's weird. I did not anticipate it living. Alright, well I guess I'll play my Rattleclaw now. Since maybe it'll actually live. I hope it doesn't like Arc Lightning me, I'll feel really silly. Alright, well he killed it now. I guess he just drew a Magma Jet. Looks like my opponent is having some mana difficulties, and maybe his hand is full of white spells. Because he drew that card and then cast, Magma Jet. Yeah, he looks like he's missing white mana. Alright. Well, we're going to attack and then play yet another Heir of the Wilds. It's a really kind of an awkward game. He put a card on top, though. Which means that he's likely to be drawing something that he needs here, like a Plains. No? Okay. He's just going to play like a dragon or... Yeah, okay. Well, that hits pretty hard. I hopefully can draw something that enables me to cast one of these here, and no, that does not. So I'm actually kind of behind now in this race of sorts. He didn't burn my Heir of the Wild. Maybe he just didn't care about it. I don't know. But he didn't play that Magma Jet until like the end of my turn, or until his turn too. So what's in his hand? I don't know. I think I just have to cast this and attack him. Like, I'm dead too. I can't, I don't really have anything that I can't like survive like a Stoke here or anything. So Searing Blood. Okay, well now I'm dead. Well, this is sort of weird. I literally, like, if I had cast my Rattleclaw Mystic, it's possible that I would have won because he didn't actually immediately kill it, and I was just anticipating it dying. And then, you know, I just didn't have the mana to cast anything, and eventually he has a dragon. I just have a fistful of uncastables. So, yeah, I mean, the two games in this match, you know, both sort of came down to difficulties with my mana, which is something that can certainly happen when you're playing a 3-color deck, particularly a 3-color deck that wants to have all 3 colors early. In the first game, you know, I died because I just had a bunch of mana confluences, and they dealt a ton of damage to me. You know, sort of won the second one fairly handily, and then this one, you know, I just stalled on 2 land and wasn't able to actually cast anything that I really needed when my opponent actually killed my mana creature. It's very strange. I mean, I guess he just, I don't even know what his hand was. Like, he just had nothing but mountains and red cards and didn't actually kill my guy. I mean, maybe he didn't even Magmage at end of turn. Maybe he just, like, F4'd or something and like, unintentionally did that because he just then played 2 burn spells in a row. But who knows? Anyway, so we're just going to go on to the next match. You know, chalk that one up to the potentially unstable mana base of a 3-color deck, which this certainly has. As I said, you know, in game 1 when I was having the difficulty with mana confluence, I certainly want to try different mana bases for Temur. That's one of the places that I think that can potentially be improved. And I certainly, you know, if I can get rid of mana confluence entirely, it certainly powers down Elvish Mystic, and I wouldn't want to do that in a version that has a bunch of Elvish Mystics. I would be pretty happy to at least cut down to maybe one of them. So you certainly don't have those, you know, tons of confluence draws that that just end up killing me. So anyway, we'll go on to the next match and see if we can do better.